encouraging the practitioners to prepare their own medicines. So in the last class, we had participants saying that the proprietary medicines available in a particular company was of not good quality. We do not know what they do not add. All those things. So all those things can be, all those problems can be solved if you are just making your own medicines, which are at least kind of easier to prepare. Churna combinations, simple avalehas, kashayams, and or syrup formulations, whatnot. So, what do you have to say about it, sir?
See, preparing our own medicines for our patients is a good idea, but in the beginning, it will be a very nice to see that we can make a preparations and we can do it. But once you become a busy practitioner, it will be very tiresome and you cannot give time for that. That is one thing. Second thing, you will be limited with certain type of preparations of yogas where simply we can make it some churnas and something like that. But even those churnas cannot be prepared by simple equipment. For these self-prepared medicine also, we need certain setup and human resource and basic equipments, at least some basic pulverizers or something like that. Otherwise, certain hard root is there and which cannot be broken up by our simple mixie. So it cannot be possible. So you need to have certain setup for that. You need to have certain human resource for that, and you need to have some certain time to prepare it. So if you are a busy practitioners, you can't just do prepare the medicines for yourself and give it to patient. Then it cannot be. Then in a week, 3 days you have to practice and 3 days you have to go for preparing the medicines. Otherwise, it's not possible because you need to keep up a lot of things, because you need to understand that you need to collect good quality raw drugs from the various sources, maintain the supply chain, and understand those things and procure it in time and go for the preparation. And finally, you need to just ready it and give it to the patient. And you may have to use certain excipients or preservatives that may not be known to you, and that also a lot of issues are there, and you cannot manage it to a large thing. If it is a smaller scale for few patients, then there will be no problem. But once it goes beyond that, it is not possible to maintain that. You need some backup people supporting for you, because you cannot simply say that because it has happened in my factory or my company, it's fine. It is everything is understood and by me and everything is under my supervision. That is not true. If you are able to do it by your supervision, then you have to spend your time while the medicine is being prepared. So that is not a case every time. We can't do that one. But of course, there is one possibility is that, but it gives a confidence to us that what are the medicines we have put into that combination. We know exactly what we have put and how much you have put. All these things, it's understood. But believing a pharmacy person or a company or a pharmacy is definitely a different, altogether a different play game. You need to understand that this company is there since how long in the market, and what are their products, how they could able to do it, and where is their factory setup, how they are doing it. All these things, if you just study a background study of those company, then you will come to know the efficacy is also, because no company is investing so much of money and is not aware of all these things. Simply they don't push the drug to the market because they don't want to establish in the market, and that's why they spend a lot of money for that purpose. So we cannot simply say that only proprietary medicines are waste or not good, only what self-made medicines are very good. Of course, there is a lifespan and even shelf life, and then the freshness of the drug prepared. If we won't prepared by our own self, and that will be very fresh one when compared to company made drugs. But still, there is a shelf life period described, and the manufacturing coding and all these things are there. Mandatory legal option versions of what are to be printed on the label. So they will go by that, and I don't think so that simply blaming that proprietary medicines or these things are not good or they are low or substandard. It is not like that.
I mean, there is a friend of mine. His name is Dr. Rajesh Bayeri. He's from Kundapur. So what happened was he has a place called as Chitrakuta. It's kind of a mini Ayurveda authentic Panchakarma center with a lot of foreign clients. So what happened was, I mean, so soon after this COVID hit, for 6 months, he was made to evacuate the clients from France that he had at the time, and he's obviously, unfortunately, as with many other Ayurveda doctors, his business was also hit, and so for 6 months he had to shut down his clinics because most of the clients that he was getting were from foreign. So he was not having any business at all. In this case, like Guraja sir told, he had extra people like therapists and other people, and he had facilities. He had extra space around his resort and all. So he came up with his own kits, Shishu Poshak, ragi rich malt and banana rich malt and all those things. He did a little bit of marketing around it, got the FSSAI food registration, food manufacturing unit registration, and he somehow kind of survived. So probably for an Ayurveda practitioner who is not getting much patients, if he has a facility, probably going this nutritional way or nutraceutical way can be a survival tactic for him also.
No, that is altogether a different area of manufacturing. Even that requires, because why the FCCI and all this type of certification has been taking. The reason is such type of product doesn't require a clinical trial report. If you call it as a drug and it is a medicine, then it requires a proprietary medicine. It requires a clinical trial, and clinical trial reports are needed, and many other toxicology studies and so many things are required. But if it is a food supplement or nutrition supplement, then such things are not required. But of course, for a healthy living and maintaining the health, that is one of the other part of Ayurveda. What the main intention is to maintain that, because we are having a lacuna in problem of getting a right kind of food. So even that type of products which are previously said to be what Ajimaddu or something like the grand lady used to prepare at the house, if same thing is now brought in the form of marketed products, that's also good, and that's a new area of earning a thing, and even it gives a lot of confidence to the doctors.